Okay, well, hello. Hi, everybody. We're back to starting our virtual events for the spring semester. Welcome. We are still waiting for one of our speakers, but we're going to go ahead and get started. And she's actually going to be having Lee, who is our host, to ask. She'll be looking at your questions, and she will be asking Wendy, and so we will get in touch with Wendy Martell that way. I hope that you all registered for this event. If you're going to be watching this event, make sure Leah's going to put the link to our registration in the comments, and that way you can get an attendance credit for being here. My name is Cindy Oser, and I'm the outreach librarian over at Hobby Memorial Library. And we're going to go over today a lot of information on how you can apply for a scholarship here at CTC and in other places, and also how to write to write an essay, basically some tips, some do's and don'ts, and we will be here to answer any questions that you have. So let's get started. Okay. All right. Well, yep, you have found the scholarship workshop. And if you want a copy of this presentation after we do it, please go ahead and send it to referencerequest@ctcd.edu, and we can send you this PowerPoint. So we're gonna, you can ask us anytime. So why are you going to apply for a scholarship? There is money. There is anywhere from $200 to $10,000 at CTC. The college, we want you to be able to afford to go to college. And so there are scholarships that we have, scholarship money that we have. This can help you to buy books, go towards your tuition. If you're in culinary, it could help you with your supplies, EMS. So there's money, and we just need you guys to try to get it. And we're going to try to help you to get the money. Okay? So there's several different things that you need to do in order to get ready to apply for the scholarship. Well, if you're not a CTC student, you have to apply to become a CTC student. So you will go to our CTC website, and I'm going to go there in a minute, and I'm going to show you, how to get where you need to go. But you're going to have to apply for admission. And when you apply for admission, they're going to go ahead and give you a link to get Eagle Mail. And you're going to be using this Eagle Mail to, especially for your scholarships. So we want you to go ahead and fill that out, get familiar with that, and that's going to be the email that you're going to be using. You also need to complete a FAFSA application, and this will be in financial aid. I will go ahead and show you in a minute from our website where you can find all this nifty information. The reason why you're filling out the FAFSA is because some of the scholarships have financial need, like you have to show financial need. So if you fill this out in the beginning, then you've already got this on record. And if that's one of the requirements for a particular scholarship, then that will already have been done. Okay? And we're going to go to the scholarship page now. And I'm going to show you where all this nifty stuff is. So this is our website, and you're going to hit students, For the financial aid part, you're going to hit financial aid, and this is going to give you all the information on where to give your FAFSA. Okay. Students, the scholarships. So everybody sees that. We are going to find your scholarships. They're there. This is your scholarship page. Now you're going to go ahead and click down here where it says CTC Academic Works. Click on that. You are going to come up to a sign up page. So you're going to need to sign up. Let me see if I'm still signed in on this one. Once you have signed up, nope, you'll be able to sign in. So let me go ahead and sign in. This is your sign up page. Don't put my email in, okay? Oh no, let me try that again. Make it work.
I'm here.
Oh, yay, guys, we have Wendy Martell, because I was going to have to wing a lot of this foundation. So I'm glad she finally made it. Yay, Wendy. Okay, so I have just logged into Academic Works. This is going to be your application. We're going to go into some more specifics about your application, the do's and don'ts. But right now, let me go ahead and just show you what it's going to look like. You're going to go ahead and fill out all your pertinent contact information. Then it starts asking you, you know, your CTC assigned number. That's why you had to have applied to CTC first to have that number. You also needed to have gone to your Eagle mail address, so you're going to need to put that in. So you're going to go down, fill out basic information about yourself personally. If you come up to something like, if you know they ask about military and you're not military, put N/A capitalized, because that way every single question is answered. Don't skip anything. You need to put something on every single one. We're going to go all the way down. You're going to fill out all the information. It's basically almost like if you see an application for a job. You know, be specific, put in your college, put everything in. Then you will go all the way to the end. And now you're going to see an awful lot of scholarships out there. I'm going to show you the page that you can look at, but you do see how many scholarships that we have rolling around here. That is a lot of scholarships, and that is a lot of money. We're going to talk about how you can qualify for a lot of scholarships in a second, but I just wanted to get you familiar with the application. Here is your essay down at the bottom. Notice there is no minimum length, and you're going to go ahead and put in your requested information. Make sure you have great grammar. We're going to be really specific about that. So I'm going to go back to where I was. And I don't see where I was. So I'm going to show you something. There are two different types of scholarships that your CTC offers you, that you can see what they have. You have hours, which I'm going to go ahead and click that so you can see what scholarships the foundation office has. And as you can see, look at this amount of money. There are a lot of them. And CTC does something amazing for you guys. They also will show you external scholarships. Those scholarships are just out there with the rest of the world. So you have a very, in my opinion, a very awesome foundation department that has put all this information just readily available for you. And that's all on that Academic Works page. So let's go over what exactly you're going to be doing with all that information. Okay, where was we? Where were we? Okay, so you're going to visit the Academic Works. You're going to see what scholarships CTC has and what scholarships the community has. And you're going to go ahead, look at what you think you qualify for. Don't think that you don't qualify for anything. I guarantee you're going to be qualifying for something. There are so many different ones out there. So you're now in the Academic Works. You have filled out your application. You have it sitting there. You're putting all of your background information. You're not skipping any lines. And we're going to be ready to apply. So all you have to do, again, for our foundations department, you only need to fill out one application. You don't need to fill out an application for each one of them, but this is for the scholarships on campus. The scholarships off campus, if you will correct me, Wendy, those they need to fill out each individual application, correct?
Correct. There's a link on the website.
Okay.
For each individual scholarship. We provide the link, so all you have to do is click on that link and then do whatever it is that they're requiring.
Okay, great. Thank you. So our application, you can continuously update it as long as, and it's before the deadline. And the deadline is, what is it, Wendy, in your head?
February 28th.
Okay, so you have all of February to get this together. And I hope everybody does get this all together. So we're going to talk about different things. And one of the main important things is keywords. The reason why you can just do one application is there is an algorithm that is being used and it is looking for keywords, much like a library catalog. You put in keywords and it'll bring up all your books and all your databases with that keyword. The same thing is happening with this application. And so if you are a music major or an art major, or you started your own nonprofit, you were in a lot of clubs in high school, make sure that you include all of those keywords in your essay or in your, if there's a section on clubs that you were part of, because this one application is going to be your ticket to a lot more scholarship opportunities, because the algorithm's going to pick up music or fine arts or, honor roll. It's going to pick up these keywords, and that way it's going to say, well, hey, you may also qualify for this. Give you an example, the library scholarship. one of our requirements is that you attended an event. Now, it's a little more difficult now that we're virtual, and that's why we have that registration. We ask you to register, and we keep a record of how many, what students were engaged in our events. And so we have a link that I'm not sure if Lee has already put it, but she will put that link in the comments, which is where you register. And when our scholarship comes through, we look to see if you were involved in one of our library scholarships. So keywords, and we're going to keep talking about keywords. You can't use keywords enough. That is actually going to be an important thing. Also, what is important about those keywords is when you are looking for a scholarship outside of CTC, in the mission statement and in the About Us, and I'll kind of show you on a website an example, they're going to have keywords. And those keywords are going to be like creative or innovative or stable. And those keywords are going to say a little bit about their company. Make sure you put those keywords in your essay if it lines up with your ethics, your personality. So don't ever forget about the keywords, okay? And we've already talked about that they go ahead and match that. Same thing, look for the keywords in their offer and mission. And when I say offer, I mean when you find a job description, make sure that who you are is in that offer. And if they're specifically using words, make sure those words are also in your essay. Okay, so here, usually every company will have a mission or a vision or core values. So you can go ahead and look for those keywords on theirs. When you're looking at CTC's description, read it. I mean, just don't go down the list and click every one of them, because if it's about music. Why do you ask, is this important? The people who are offering these scholarships, either the donors for the CTC scholarships or the companies, they are looking for someone who represents who they are. And they want to be able to say, look, here's our scholarship winner. And they want to kind of connect, ethically, core values. And so you are basically going to be the person that they are most proudest of. And so that's why it's very important to always look at who they want to give it to. And then that's what you're going to be showing them. All right, we can just keep going. Okay, also, and I'm kind of veered off a minute to the scholarships outside of CTC. When you are looking for a scholarship outside of CTC, Foundations has done this work for you in that they have looked to see if, all of the requirements would fit our students. But if you end up going to look outside of our Foundations scholarships, you've got to get in the habit of really looking closely at what their scholarship says. I mean, the first thing that you guys see is $10,000 renewable scholarship. That's what your eyes went to it. But here's one, you have to have a GPA of 3.0. You have to demonstrate financial need. So you've got to start looking closely at what you think, because otherwise you're going to go through the whole process and you're going to waste your time and you're going to waste their time. This Pepsi one, it's only people who are admitted to a certain college or they've been active in their community, have good communication skills. You've got to read each individual description to see if you will qualify. Now, again, CTC Foundations has done this work for you, which, I mean, next time you see anybody who works in the foundations office, you just tell them thank you, because this is an amazing setup that they have done for you, where they have actually checked on this stuff for you. Okay, now look at this big wall of print, and all you see is $250,000, okay? Yep, but there's these things. Did you go to this high school? Did you enroll here? Are you enrolled in that degree? So again, be grateful that CTC Foundations has done a lot of this work for you, but once you've left CTC, and if you're trying to get other scholarships, make sure you look at the print, all of the print, okay? Okay, also, if you don't know where to start, please don't Google it. You can, but you know, if you're looking on your own, your library here on CTC campus has the latest. We'll be getting the latest for 2021 of scholarships. We have databases. We actually, the library does the work for you in finding reputable scholarships for you. So between the foundations department and the library, you guys are in good hands to get that money that you need for your scholarship. So here's the fun part, where you're going to have to really watch what you're doing, and we're going to go step by step on everything. All right, as I said earlier, make sure you answer all of the questions. Don't leave anything blank, and use that not applicable sign if a question doesn't apply to you. Okay, very important. And I asked Wendy, we're pushing this, and yet Wendy tells me people are still putting their name in their essays. Okay, I know everybody can't repeat after me, but when you know, a little box at the bottom you saw, don't put your name there, because this is supposed to be, you know, the people, Wendy is looking at these scholarship applications, and she's got hundreds, correct, Wendy?
We have hundreds. We had over 500 last year, so.
Okay, you hear that? Right. So she doesn't want to know what you, well, it's important that she doesn't know, because this is supposed to be anonymous. And so she wants to be able to judge your essay, and she wants to be able to judge it on its merit, and not because you're somebody she knows on campus.
And just as a reminder, we have a panel that does these reviews for these, and we rate these scholarships. So, and they're from all over campus. So you never know what department you're going to be dealing with.
Yes.
And who you may know. So don't put your name in there and give yourself any either advantage or disadvantage by putting your name in there.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna keep our fingers crossed this time, Wendy. There's going to be 100% essays with no names in it this time. Okay. All right. Okay. When you write your essay, please check your grammar. It is, as Wendy said, there are people trying to read these essays. If you're not writing complete sentences, if you're not, writing something that people can't read, then what would they be thinking? They would be thinking, well, if you're not taking the time to have somebody read it, have somebody help you edit it, and do it correctly, then you may not take the time to really work on your schoolwork. So do we want to give this scholarship to someone who we think is going to try really, really hard to do well in their classes, or do we want to give it to somebody who just kind of winged it and really didn't care about their grammar? So it's not just grammar. It says a lot about who you are and how willing you are to work hard on this. the library has a research paper mentoring program. If you go to the library's website, and I'll put that, I didn't put it in the comments, but we will put that one in the comments. Also, the Academic Studio has lots of help. We have people on campus who can help you get that grammar right. So make sure that is an important part of your essay. Make sure that your answers pertain to your questions. You know, when you read a paper, like, and I know myself, when I've read papers, I'm reading this paper and somebody has veered off somewhere and it's like it's no longer connected to the question. So that's one thing. You need to make sure that you are answering the question. Also, there is a difference between the spoken word and the written word. The spoken word says, duh. Be as dramatic as you want to be. You don't have to, make a complete sentence when you talk. When you write, you do not have body language. Therefore, written communication, it has to be different. You have to write in a complete sentence. The reader can't see the drama and the body language that you are feeling when you're writing this. So therefore, you need to use complete sentences. Stay away from other things like slang. We'll talk about it in a minute with the slang. Maybe not. Yep, I messed these up. Let me go to the slang first. Okay, another thing to stay away from is slang and cliches. In written communication, cliches, it may be something that you and your family used to say, and you know what the meaning is, but your reader doesn't know what the meaning is, and so it's lost. Also, like if you're military and you have these military either acronyms or slang that you use, your reader may not know what that means, and then that's going to make the whole essay like lose the flow of what's happening. So use more common but not too common. Avoid generalizations. I work hard and I play even harder. It's like, what? All right. Yeah, you're going to be being very specific on your stuff. And then that's some of the things we're going to talk about in a minute in your essay. These are things you need to include in your essay. This is what the essay question is specifically asking you. What are you going to do? What are your plans? How is this scholarship going to help you? Everybody needs money. So you don't need to say I need money. Okay, then you're just being general. Everybody who writes an essay needs money. And so rather than say that, tell your story. It's almost like a storytelling to let the people who are reading your essay know who you are and what you've struggled with and what you've overcome and how you've done it. And then what you plan to do with your college degree. That's it. And there's attitudes that you can use. And I think I got that. I kind of mixed these up.
And I want to remind the students that these scholarship applications and essays are reviewed and then they're scored against what questions are asked. So if you're not answering the questions, then you're not going to get any points for your essay, and that's going to hinder you getting a scholarship greatly. So please make sure you address those questions and tell us how how you're going to use this and how it's going to benefit you, how it's going to benefit society. One of the biggest things is just provide the information. If we don't have the information, we can't score it. We can't assume it. You have to give it to us.
Right, right. And they don't, I mean, you heard there's 500 applications. You've got to shine.
And when
yeah.
we say there's 500 applications, that means there's 500 people that have applied. Those applications are then disseminated between the different scholarships, and there may be one person may have qualified for 10 different scholarships. So that's 10 more applications to add to that 500 that when we say we have so many applications, because we don't know exactly how many applications we know how many per scholarship, but we can't tell you a cumulative how many it is total. We just know how many people have applied. So
okay, so that's why you want to stay away from those generalizations, like I need money, because that's not helpful. Make sure that in your essay about who you are and what you're going to be doing with the money, and I'll be more specific about that, but do not forget those key words in your essay, because that is what's going to bring more applications. It's going to tell the computer that, hey, you may also qualify for this. You may also qualify for that. Please be honest. If you have never taken an art class in your life, don't say that you do art. If you've never picked up a musical instrument and you can't sing worth the darn, then don't put down music. Okay. Again, you need to, search in your past on what you've done and be honest about it. Science, math, art, music. You're also, when you write it, there's a right way to do it, and there is, a different way to do it. An essay it's not the same as an essay that you would write on something that happened in history. You are basically more storytelling with an honest truth of your past. By not being a data dump means that you can go ahead and put, that in this year you did this and this year you did that. But you shouldn't have to research anything. And also make it personable. Don't start every sentence, I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that, I did that. Tell a story. Back when I was in 6th grade, I went on a mission trip and I learned this. I learned that I was involved in a group, Girl Scouts, and we did, we did this project and we helped homeless pets. Just talk naturally, but make sure that what you're saying is letting them get to know who you are. Okay. They want to know that you are, one of the easiest ways to write about yourself is to make sure that you're passionate about something. We all know you're passionate about getting this scholarship so that you have money to pay. We all know this. That's passionate for everybody. Okay. Don't forget that passion. There's a way to talk about that passion and a way not to. We're all needy. Right now with the pandemic, we're all desperate. We all get that. We get that. In fact, Wendy, probably they're going to be reading 500 desperate essays because, we're all kind of weirded out. When you tell your story, you can go ahead and talk about your struggles. but make sure that you also include what you're doing to overcome some of these struggles, because it's not so much the details of what challenges you had and how you overcame it, is the fact that you overcame it. That says big things to someone, because it says that you worked hard to resolve it. If you did not overcome it, that's okay too. But say I'm trying to figure out ways to overcome it, or I'm looking at different options, because what that tells the reader is, it tells the reader that you're trying to solve a problem. When you're in college and you have a problem, like say for instance, if your computers went down at work and at home, and you're having trouble getting to your class, you have to figure out what to do, immediately call your professor, or, go to the library. You've got to solve the problem. If you have that and you sit back and go, well, I can't do my homework because I no longer have internet. Well, that's not overcoming the problem. And so we want to see how you are able to overcome the problem, because it says a lot to the person who is reading your essay. Okay. Also make sure you have details and examples, because examples are really one of the best ways to really see how you're thinking, and how you determine to solve things. So put some examples in there, all righty, on how you problem solve. There's a way to write about yourself, and then there's a way to turn people off when you write about yourself. If you talk about how wonderful you are, how great you are, how you did this, how you did that, and I'm this and I'm that, and I'm wonderful, and you're crazy if you don't give me a scholarship. That shows that you are, you believe in yourself, but don't forget to be a little bit humble as well. Because, again, the people who are reading these essays are people who want to see who you are as a person, and you're trying to convey that in the written word. And so choose the words that will help. Now, self-deprecating is, I don't think I can make it. I didn't think I could do this. I don't believe in that. Like my example, that I'm so glad that they let me in band. Nobody else tried out. Okay. That wasn't impressive. So just go ahead and believe in yourself. That's why you need to let other people read it, so they can tell you what it sounds like to other people, because you know what you're writing in your head, but what you have in your head may not be the same thing that's coming across. Okay. Also, be grateful. If you spend your essay complaining about your high school, complaining about this, complaining about that, complaining about this, complaining about that, that says a lot about you too. And the people who are reading the essay are going to think, well, this person would rather complain and this person's not grateful. So make sure you've got some gratefulness in there as well. Okay. And yes, you can talk about your struggles. Just make sure you don't forget how you overcame some of that. Show us. You guys are all awesome. Every one of you guys are awesome. And you need to show your awesomeness to the people who are going to be reading these essays. They want to know who is at CTC and who is going to represent the college proudly. And so just be honest. Don't get all carried away. This is not Twitter comments. You don't need to prove anything. Just go ahead and be mindful of what you're doing. One of the things, a suggestion is, and we use at the library Grammarly to check your grammar. If you get one of those free Grammarly things, they have this nifty little icon that will tell you if you sound sad or you sound upbeat, if you sound angry. So yeah, make sure you're sounding hopeful and all that in your work. Okay, and yes, be confident. You know, be strong. If you do really well, make sure you go ahead and you know, say it directly. Use direct verbs instead of passive verbs. That's why you need Grammarly to know what the difference is between a direct verb and a passive verb. But you know, I overcame, I am, I will, I may. May is a little softer, but it come across that you're going to make it, you're going to do well, you're not going to quit school. That's what they want to know in that. Okay, so after you have applied for all of this, you have filled your essay, you will be getting an award letter or a notice of non-award. And it'll be by June 1st. And this is probably the most important thing. Please write a thank you letter. And you know what? Even if you are not awarded, a thank you letter is always good, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to show CTC that you are worthy of all this. And if they know that you wrote a thank you letter, even when if you didn't get it, that says a lot about your character. Okay. So let me go back. Hey, Wendy. And that was a lot of information. I will now turn it to Wendy and Lee. And if you have a question, please put the question in the comment section. And that's why we need Wendy. She's got the answers.
Hopefully.
You will. You will. So, Lee, any questions?
One is, you know, if we were selected for a scholarship.
So there's no way of looking on the system to see if you've qualified for scholarship or how many scholarships you've qualified for. If there's a question, if you have a question about one in particular, you can always text me or email me and let me know which one you're looking at, want to know if they qualified for that one. And you have until the 28th of February to go in and make any changes to your scholarship. They're not, it stays active until it closes on the 28th. You can make changes up until that time, and then at that time it's closed down and you can't make any changes. So if you want to see if there's maybe something you left out or forgot to mention, or something you want to elaborate on more that might help with the scoring of your scholarship application, then definitely send me an email. My email is in the comment in the chats over here. If you don't see that, it's wmartel, M-A-R-T-E-L, at ctcd.edu. You can also email the foundation, and that email address is on the website. We have one person in the office a day. There's only 2 of us that are working in the office or in our department at this time. So it's hit or miss on who you're going to get. We take turns, but if you have a question about scholarships, it just depends on if you're going to be able to get an answer that day or not. It's easier if you go ahead and send me an email and I can answer you directly.
Okay, the next question is, how do we apply?
Well, that's in the basics of this whole presentation. You're going to go to the Academic Works website. You can find that link for that on the foundation page under scholarships. You're going to follow those steps. If you have any problems or any questions, you can always email me or give me a call here in the office.
And also, Lee, we'll put the reference request at ctcd.edu if they would like a copy of the PowerPoint. It goes step by step on how to find everything. So, you know, just have them go ahead and send that if you'll put that in the comments.
Okay.
Thanks.
And a couple of the biggest things that I've seen through the years, one, monitor your CTC Eagle Mail. If you're not going to monitor it regularly and you're afraid you're going to miss something, then go ahead and forward it to another email. There's instructions on the CTC website of how to do that. You're given about a week and a half to 2 weeks, depending on the time frame we have at the time, to get the acceptance done and get your letters of thank you submitted. If it's not done in that time, then the offer will go to the next person. So it's essential that you keep track of that email and make sure that you respond to those offers.
Lee, did if someone missed the beginning of the you know, what we've done here today, they can go like to ctcd.edu website, hit students and hit scholarships, and the foundations page will give you step-by-step instructions also. So
the biggest thing is use that CTC Eagle Mail that's assigned to you. That's probably 9 out of 10 of the emails I get because people are having problems accessing the application is because they're not using that email. If you can't remember your password, I have no access to your password, so you need to do a reset. If you do the reset and you don't get the email for some reason, let me know. I do have access to go in and resend you that once you've requested it. I can't initiate it for you, but I can send it once you've requested it for that reset of the password.
okay. All right. Is there anyone else? If you're not a student yet, because sometimes we have people who are in high school that watch these workshops, you know, you can always still ask us questions. Now, if they're going to apply, like say they're a senior right now, Wendy, and they're going to apply, are they able to look at our scholarships? The scholarships are there if you don't fill out an application, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
All you have to do is go to the website and you can see those scholarships and information on those.
Okay.
And I will tell you that right now the amounts that are on there are not a final word on those. Our board voted to table the vote on the percentage that we're going to be awarding this year from our finance accounting people. So we're waiting to get that information and then I will update those amounts. It'll probably be after the application closes. But it's a pretty good idea. They're looking at actually increasing it this year. So it'd be a minimum of what's available.
And Wendy, and I didn't bring this point up. One of the things that you get points for, because this is a point system, is have you gotten another CTC scholarship before?
Correct.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
So there's a question on the application and it asks if you've ever received a scholarship before. So if you see a scholarship that you've received that's not on that list, email me and let me know. There are occasionally some that maybe somebody had received several years ago that have fallen off the list because we haven't awarded them in so long. Just let me know and I can get that added so you can answer that question. But yes, you do get, that's one of the perks of having a scholarship is you kind of moves you up in the ranking a little bit the next year whenever you go and apply again.
Okay. All righty. So, anybody else? Yeah, Wendy. Go ahead.
Sorry.
You did a good job. Nobody's asking
Well, I
questions.
was gonna say, either that or they just all went, yeah, no, I ain't buy. Remember, guys, y'all need to watch the whole thing and be tortured by the whole workshop before we give you credit. Watch everybody be registering right now. Oh, and remember, if you came in a little late, there is a link in the comments to register that you were here at this workshop. our particular library scholarship, one of the requirements is that you attended a library, any type of a library event. And we want you to do that. And so we put that in our scholarship. And yeah, I know. And we keep track of who's registered. So make sure that you guys will register for that. Yeah, Wendy, if we have no questions, we don't know what to think about that. So Wendy, all of your essays and all of your applications will come in perfect.
Awesome. That'll make my life so much easier.
Yay. All right, guys. Y'all now have promised us that they're all going to be perfect.
Not perfect, but at least, don't have your names in them.
Yeah. No cliches. Don't say you need money. We know you need money.
Just remember, this is a representation of you to the review committee, so that they get to know you a little bit. If you just say, and seriously, in all honesty, I have reviewed applications before that said, I need the money. And that's all they've said. And honestly, at that point, I go on to the next one and I can't score that one because they haven't answered any of their questions. So they're not going to have enough points to be awarded anyway. Yeah. So and the essay is the last point, that was the last part of the scoring process. So they'll have some points, but they won't have near enough to compete with the others that have finished the questions and answered the essays the way it was asked to be done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, guys, remember it's a competition. It's literally a competition, and you've got to shine above everybody else. And I know y'all will. I know will.
Until the end of February, so get out there, get those applications in. If you have any questions, you can call the office. I can't guarantee you'll get an answer right then. One of the ladies here in the office will send me an email and let me know what your question is and your contact information, and I can get back to you. But you can always email me. Even days I'm not working in the office, I am at home monitoring the email, so I can reach out to you that way. Okay. And then again, make sure if you want a copy of what we talked about today, then go ahead and do that reference request at ctc.edu and you'll get the PowerPoint. Okay. All right. Well, our work here is done, Wendy. We've had so many problems technically before we got to this point. Your morning sounds like mine. I had a ton this morning, so. It's Monday. It's Monday. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Next Tuesday is our next virtual event. We have medical Qigong with Professor Crowder Moser and Earl Henderson, and they will be explaining what it is, and they will be doing a demonstration. So make sure you have all your stretchy pants on and you do the exercise with us. And it's next Tuesday at noon. All right. And then in February, I just have to tell y'all, in February, we have a huge series toward the middle and end of our month. And it is it's on Black history theme, the Black family, representation, identity, and diversity. We have people from all over our community that are going to be telling their life stories. And we think that that is probably the best way to learn about someone, just like your essay is, and it's going to help all the people reading your essays. Our guest speakers each day, they're just going to tell their life story, and we hope you will enjoy that as well. Make sure you go to the library website, hit events, go to our flyer page on the events, and we will list everything we've got going on. And I hope that you join us for all the rest of our virtual events for this spring. Wendy, thank you so much. I am so glad you got into this WebEx because I was not going to wing this on my own. Well, thank you for putting it together and hosting it and allowing the students this information in this way. Okay. Especially important at this time. So thank you. Thank you. And Lee, thank you very much for streaming for us. We always she's hiding today. All right. Well, bye guys. And we will see you later. And Wendy, don't leave yet. Okay.